Excellent. Do you want to kick us off, James?
Yeah, sure. Hi, Steve.
Hi, James.
Good to see you. I guess, first of all, what's the latest news with the injuries?
Yeah, all the boys are pretty good, apart from Finn. So everyone's coming through and all available for selection.
What's the prognosis with Finn Russell then?
Oh, look, I think he's out to the boot. He's doing bits and pieces. So again, he's more or less with a medic. So we'll just keep assessing him as we go along.
He'll stay out there. There's still a hope he could be fit for maybe the third test.
Yeah, look, at the minute he's still here, and but at the end of the day, if he's here, then hopefully he'll come available at some point for us.
And how's Dan Bigger?
Yeah, he's good. He was running around the other day. He's been kicking. Yeah, he's all good.
And Liam Williams, his HIA, is he on track?
Yeah, he's on track to be available. So again, I think it's his last bit today. So then he'll be available. We believe he'll be available as well.
And Henshaw came through the Stormers game okay?
Yeah, no ill effects from that. He come through. It's really good to have him back and performing. So yeah, it's really pleasing to have a healthy squad going into the first test.
Yeah, it's a good crop to be able to pick from, isn't it? How tough is this selection going to be? How big decisions are you going to have to make?
Oh, look, I think there's going to be massive decisions. There's going to be a lot of, well, you could say unlucky players, but they represent the Lions. And I think that we had initial selection meeting last night, which was a long one, in fairness, just like covering all bases. A lot of people put their hands up. So, yeah, it's a great place for us as coaches to be. And there'll be probably bits of disappointment, but I believe within this squad, there's such a tight connection that everyone will be geared up to winning that first test, whether you're in the 23 or not.
And how did that selection meeting go? Were you largely agreeing on names? Did you narrow it down to a certain number?
It was. Look, it was probably it was a good hour and a half, maybe a little bit longer talking. So it was a good initial one, and we were coming clearer and clearer as we went along, and we'll confirm that up, and then Gats will announce at an appropriate time. But yeah, it was one of the toughest things I've been involved in, because so many people have put their hands up in terms of putting their best foot forward.
When will the players find out?
Oh, look, that's up to Gats. We'll just probably confirm things up, or probably today or tomorrow. But then it'll be up to Gats and around when he feels that's appropriate. No problem.
Hi, Steve. It's Andrew McKenna from TalkSport. You just mentioned there that about selection being tough. It should be tough, though, shouldn't it? You've got 37 of the best of the Northern Hemisphere players. It's almost a case that every single player should be able to stake a claim, shouldn't it?
Yeah, I think so. But I think probably maybe in other tours, maybe people have played themselves out of the Test Match 23, whereas I think like all our boys have really put their hands up. And I think in around performances, the way they train in and the way they're around the group, I think everyone has. And I think, like, even just speaking to Gats and around how difficult it was, because like obviously experiences he's gone on previous tours, but that's where you wanted to be. Like you said, it's you want to pick from a healthy group, and a group that is ultimately everyone's putting their hand up for that selection, because I think that shows in around the depth of the squad. And over 3 tests, probably people will come in and out of the team, and we're going to need that depth right throughout the series.
When the Bulls game was called off a couple of weeks ago, there was talk about it maybe being rearranged. Looking at the calendar, that probably would have meant playing tomorrow night, I would guess, because that was the only available spot. Can you maybe speak about how much of an advantage it is not to have a midweek game going into the first test, that you can concentrate solely 5 days all about next Saturday?
Yeah, it's going to be nice as coaches and for the players, I think, to get a routine and get some really good training, because like the midweek, it was great experience for me, but there's a lot of just topping up the detail and actually just getting a proper week over the last 2 or 3 weeks. You haven't done lots of coaching, lots of training work, so that's going to be really, really pleasing for us not to have that midweek game. Everyone's had plenty of rugby as well, so it's just focusing more on us now and having a real good prep week leading into the first test.
And the South Africa A game showed up a couple of work-ons. I've heard a couple of former players, though, say that they felt all of those work-ons were relatively straightforward and can be put right in a couple of sessions. Do you feel that that's happening?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like the tour. You come together. You got 2 weeks before Japan, then you leave. Then you got midweek games. So I think it's constantly building. You can't give all the information out. You can't sort of get everything right straight away. So as the game's going along, there's little things we need to tidy up. And from South Africa, we wanted to tidy up little bits and pieces, and it's a constant work in progress. And hopefully we'll be right and raring to go on Saturday.
Thank you, Steve.